Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 51, When Horses Fly. To briefly recap last episode, we had made improvements to the Killbox, including a burn maze and some turrets. We had planned on and started working on moving the horse and cow pasture. And then we had also researched transport pods and biofuel refining so that I could deliver some of these animals to a neighbor and not have so many animals in the base. We sent Sven and Bunny out to one of the ancient complexes to get information about the Relic of Dominance, and I'm going to skip them home. What I'm planning on working on this episode is shoring up our defenses a little bit more, making sure that I get the transport pods up and comms console and stuff like that. So let's get that underway. So the first thing I want to do is to set up the biofuel refiner because we have a lot of elephant meat that is otherwise going to spoil. So I might as well turn that into chem fuel and not have it go spoiling on me. So this will be making chem fuel from organics. I will set it up with meat and we will drop it on the floor when it's done. And I'm going to set Trustin to start working on that. A royal tribute collector. Oh, interesting. I'd planned on Slave 1 and Slave 2 killing each other in gladiator fights, but I suspect I'm going to need to take new prisoners because I am definitely going to donate to the royal tribute collector instead. So now that we have the biofuel refinery going, let's go ahead and get the transport pods. So I'm going to put a few pod launchers down here. And that will allow us to send horses to the Pact of Ozzolonium, because the Pact of Ozzolonium is who I need to ally with for the next part of the Archonexus map. So it is a requirement. So taking a look, Sven was the one that accepted the hosting of the wolves. So his honor is going to go up. So I'll probably accept the slave contributions with Bunny. So once Bunny's up, I'll have her do that. And I'm going to have Slave 1 and Slave 2 strip down and take off their clothing so I'm not donating clothing for any reason. Alright, now that I have 3 full stacks of chem fuel, I'm going to lay up on the chem fuel manufacturing for now. And I'm also going to change over these farm fields here. I don't need more psychoids, so I'm going to do Devil Strand 3 and Devil Strand 4. Maximizing the amount of Devil Strand that I get. Sleeping Sickness for No Luck, Zleb, and Slave 1. That is unfortunate. So No Luck, Zleb, and Slave 1. Gonna go and get tended to. Bunny, let's go ahead and get rid of Slave 1. I'll make it their problem, not mine. But we now only have 3 colonists on their feet. The other 2 are sick. So once Trustin's up, I'm also going to have him set up the comms console so that I can trade with orbital traders. I'll set that here. And I want to wire things up a bit better as well. a lot of steel, but I think it's a worthwhile project. And is there anyone to trade with right now? Yeah, there's a combat supplier. I don't, I'm not entirely sure what they'll buy for me. I don't have it all memorized. So Sven, let's go check. I don't think they're going to buy the ivory. No. The sniper excellent and SMG excellent I can sell because I don't really want to keep that. But that's about all. So, not that interesting of a trade. Now, my silver should, yes, indeed come out here because this is the bait beacon. It's the oldest installed beacon, so that's where our trades go to. And Tristan, I'm going to make you construct over Taylor because I have a lot of construction projects that I want to get done. And with no luck sick, the burden will land on you more squarely. Feeding a lavish meal to a cow. Okay. So I did receive some feedback from you all. One of the comments from Emery was to put a heal medicine stockpile here to make it easier to tend the wolves, so I've done that. And then another was from Kudzu and JFed about using the straw to make it more difficult for biological or organic, non-robotic, non-mechanical raiders to attack me. So I am laying out some straw where the turrets are so that the straw can help aid in keeping like tribal raiders or melee pirates or whatever from brawling my Killbox. Because pretty soon here, we're going to have a harvest of this haygrass. In fact, I'm not going to allow resowing of it, but we're going to have a harvest of this haygrass and we'll be able to put a lot of straw down. So here, Bunny is making the first batch of Go Juice, I think. And we're going to keep it on this shelf. And this is so that we, in combat situations, can be amped up, but also so that if I have slaves that I want to gladiator themselves to death, I can just get them juiced on Go Juice so that they fight to the death without, you know, leaving too much to chance. And here is the first of my pod launchers. So these pod launchers are going to help me send unwanted animals to the Pact of Wazalonium. The Pact of Wazalonium I need an alliance with. But also, it would help to have an ally in case I get overwhelmed or something. So I just set it up so that I have high priority hauling. Hoping that I start hauling the steel out here because we have need of that steel and it's not close by. Let's also preach health to Zaleb. Zaleb's fallen behind a little bit with the recovery. I should have preached health immediately when they got sick, but I kind of just forgot. So we'll try to recover from that sleeping sickness quickly. Sleeping sickness is a nasty one because it lasts for so long. So this first pod, I'm going to send a foal and elephant meat to the Pact of Wazalonium. full-grown animals are worth more than the young animals, so trying to sort of maximize the amount of reputation I get for the gifts would be wise. So any of these full-grown creatures that are not named, because I want to keep the named creatures, like this mare, I can set the name to send, and they'll be next on the list of things to send. Same with this foal and this mare would be good to send as well. All right, Trustin, get back to work. Or sleep, I guess. Because that makes sense. Oh, he too is also sick from the fibrous mechanites. Oh my lord. Alright. So the sleeping sick are still getting tended to. Another thing I noticed is that in this stockpile, I have tainted clothing, which makes no sense at all. So I want to get rid of the tainted apparel that I have there because it has no physical value. And I'll allow my slaves to burn it. Just to get rid of it. Because, again, I don't want it. Trustin now is working on the perimeter electricity, running cables around the base. And another project I have for myself, if I can get around to it, it really depends on No Luck and Zeleb's recovery and how much work I can get done, is a Reliquary. Because I'm not currently using the Staff of Suppression, and it would be a wonderful thing to use in my ritual room to try to get pilgrims and to improve the ritual quality that I put out. So now that the power grid looks done, we'll get back to making the pods and sending the animals, and then also strawing up the sort of Killbox area here. Checking in on No Luck and Zeleb. So 26 and 26. Whoa, I thought I had removed the roof. Clearly I had not. Didn't get me killed, though. So here's some additional pods, and I'm going to set 2 of these up. We'll send this and this, and one of the youngers, the younglings, and I'm going to send more elephant meat. So the next step is to start to set up the fencing. So I want to sort of maximize the square footage of the fence without it being inconvenient. So something like this, and then we'll put in some gates. 1, 2, 3. In the spots where I have to go over trees, it'd be helpful if my slaves cut the trees down rather than my constructors, who are really bad at cutting trees. And I'll try to micromanage Trustin so he doesn't have to actually break down any of the, or cut down any of the trees, rather. That could be left to Bunny. She's better at it. Sven is still researching jump packs to try to replace the locust armor that we have. And Trustin is getting the pasture corral fixed and built. Albeit a little inefficiently because he's going back and forth like crazy. But as long as the project gets done. So over here in this spot, I'm going to put wooden fences. I want to use wooden fences at a minimum. Because of course wooden fences are flammable and granites are not. And saving Kenzo. Zleb's ex-husband. No, I really don't need an ex-husband in my colony. But thank you for, I guess, nothing. Hard pass. So there's the rest of the pen, or the new pen. And we can also start to move the beds down here as well. These beds are basically just for the sick animals that I have that need bedding. Another thing I wanted to do is to set up a bit of like a panic room here where this stone is. So that the animals don't build up filth. So let's see how I can construct that. Maybe like that. Very, very, very simple. Keeping the animals from walking on rough hewn stones prevent it from building up filth. So keeping them away from there. And then having one little room where we can run to for cover. It's an odd little project, but it has some value. So Trustin soon will be done with the new pasture. And then we will move all the creatures. I'm going to force... Oh, never mind. I have a mech cluster. Oh, that's a big mech cluster, too. So it is a auto mortar that initiates in a day and a half. We have got a high shield, which intercepts aerial mortar and beaming. I believe there is no low shield. All right. I'll probably end up activating my sleep sick in order to fight this properly. I probably don't have the luxury of having them rest out, because I'm going to need all hands on deck for this. I could also call in aid favors. That might not be a terrible thing to do, to have like a cataphract squad help me out. So there's 3 centipedes, but possibly more, depending on what's in the mech capsule and if anything gets called down, because there's drop beacons as well. I do like that the auto mortar has some time on it. I feel like all auto mortars should have time on it, because the amount of time it takes for a human siege to set up mortars is not insignificant. It takes them a day or two. Maybe not a day or two, but it takes them a while to set up mortars, whereas the mech cluster with auto mortars that awaken immediately can really wreck your day. So I'm happy to see that that isn't the case here. So I'll have Combat Command, and I'll also have Marksman Command, and I'll probably end up using both. And now I have moved the pen marker. So possibly tomorrow morning I'll start to try to hit these guys. Another really powerful tool to take them out would be the Animal Pulsar. To wake them up and Animal Pulse them, but I don't have an Animal Pulsar on hand, which is unfortunate, but that would have done the job for me pretty much without any effort. Okay, we're finally loading. I will high priority so that we can get these horses delivered before the ones that are in the pods starve to death, because that's gonna happen if I wait any longer. So a horse, a mare, and some elephant meat needing to be loaded. Trustin is getting the straw set up here for organic targets. Yeah, we got to be getting close. Okay, this is the last horse, I hope. All right, there it is, and send. 110. That will get us allied. Done. Exactly 75. That could not have planned that better. So, now that it is 7 in the morning, my shooters are going to switch their weapons, including the ones that were resting. Bunny's going to get preach health in not too much longer. I will bring them over here. I'm going to want to try to take out the pikemen and things that have really long range first. And then probably call in cataphracts to help tank. I've also broke this one section of the pasture so that it's a proper pasture. And then these guys have yet to be hauled away. Alright, so let's open fire. I guess I should have marksman commanded and work commanded first. Or combat commanded, rather. Alright guys, go for the pikeman. There we are. And Sven, call in a cataphract squad here. They're going to be sort of in front of me so that they tank and I don't. Hopefully I don't friendly fire them. Now this mortar is not going to initiate for another 18 hours, giving me plenty of time to be able to deal with these mechanoids. See, having the scythers fight one another would be best. I don't really want to be running from scythers, so let me focus on this. No, I'm going to keep focusing on the lancers. I take that back. So my aide is fleeing, and I am just trying to take out their longest range so that their lancers don't get to shoot at me. Let's back up a little bit. Alright, they are out of long range, I think. No, they have one pikeman left, but that's nothing. Chance of that being a problem is very low. Alright, schedule. Slaves are going to go to the slave inside zone. I don't really need them anymore. And also, I'm going to keep it paused for a second. I just realized that I hadn't actually updated this zone, or my home zones for that matter. So let's update the slave inside zone so it includes this pasture area. And don't include this. And then update the inside zone for the same reason. That way I don't have to micromanage them or worry about them getting into trouble. And then for home zones, all this gets added as well. I'm also going to add all this as well, knowing that a lot of this is flammable and will need to be removed at some point. So they're going to be manufacturing scythers. Got it. And this pikeman doesn't even know what to do or where to go, which is rather funny. Oh, she got back up briefly. Alright, you guys are undrafted. Get back to work. Really no point in berserking them because they can't actually do damage to each other. So it's best if I just keep backing up and punching holes in them with my sniper rifles. The pikemen, however, that is a different matter. So Danishi, come back out here and you're going to have to tank the pikemen for me. And there will be a new scyther as well. But there won't be another scyther for another 24 hours, so not so much a problem. I guess it's fine if Danishi actually baits shots into here, so that I don't have to kite as much. That works for me. Oh, but the pikeman is now shooting at me, so I'm going to back up. I don't like getting shot at by pikemen. They can get lucky every now and then to take out organs, so best if they just die. So I'm going to break line of sight so they have to get closer. Where'd the Scyther end up going? Scyther was going to my Killbox and then turned around, I guess. And now I have the pikeman firing at Danishi so that no one else gets shot. Danishi forgetting to stop, drop, and roll. Okay, and that centipede has since gotten destroyed. So Danishi, you're going to come help me. Coming to the north. Also, JD and Jordan, if I can rescue these guys for free reputation, I might as well. So I'm going to push north, and as soon as I reach about this spot here, they're going to start firing on me. So I'm going to set my shield belters in first. And then Droiden, you go for rescue. I need a good bed, so I'm going to rescue them to here. And we can turn that back to prisons at some point. So, Denisha, you're a little burned. I'm going to have you rescue. You can back out of here. Okay, that's destroyed. The Scyther is coming up. Wants to fight. That's fine by me. And then what do they have left? They have these two turrets here. I could shut them down with the smoke launcher. And then they have this Inferno turret. So I think what we'll do is you are going to go carry the Commissar. Bring them out of there. And then the remainder of my shooters are going to... The two sick ones are going to back out. So I won't need them anymore. And Bunny, go preach health to one of them. Let's preach health to the Zod. And then one of my two shooters are going to grab the smoke launcher. So let's make it Trustin. And then the other snipers are going to take out the remaining turrets. Now there's a solid wall here stopping these turrets from seeing me and my approach, which is going to make it really easy to take these out. Alright, and we should be done pretty soon. Making sure that No Luck and Zleb are actually going to sleep. And Jordan, you are off the hook. That's one down. I can step into the smoke a little bit and start taking out other turrets. I'm also going to change these to not be medical so that Zleb sleeps in her own bed. Be a little bit more comfortable, I suspect. That one's gone. Guess I could go for the mortar, it doesn't hurt. Probably just melee it. Because this thing can't see me past the mech assembler. And then also, No Luck and Zleb, you should switch your guns back. So laying down some smoke. We'll take out the assembler and then the auto charge, and it will be defeated. The fire's creeping in on me. Come on. Done. All right. Mech cluster destroyed. Switching weapons back. And then changing the schedule back to normal, because the slaves are safe to exit. I hope that that rain is automatically triggered soon, because it's getting a little toasty. Oh, there it goes. Oh, one of the... Alright, let me tend to you. They got a little sick. I actually haven't tended to them at all. A mangled scar to the brain. Whoops. You'll be okay. So that is all that's left of this mech cluster. And I sustained, what, 1 bruise? 1 burn. Not bad. I mean, I did call in favors. But still, not bad. I'm going to reduce the hall priorities, so we can get other work done. Now, the Reliquary. Let's see if I can't make a little bit more progress on that. That's a bit overdue, I think. So I'm going to change around this room here so that it is a little bit larger, with the hopes to build reliquaries. So we have the Relic of Suppression already, and soon I suspect we're going to get the Relic of Dominance. Oh, nice. Trustin is holding a concert. That should be good for mood. Unfortunately, I think that gets Noluk and Zaleb out of bed, but I'm sure they need recreation given that they have been in bed for a long time. Oh, and we have rhinos. So, inside, and slaves inside, and then let's go ahead and close this door so that the rhinos cannot get inside, because we have a complete perimeter, and this door should be left open. Yeah, we have a complete perimeter around our base, so there's really no way for them to get in. Which is funny, because in many areas it's only like a thin wooden wall, or a thin wooden door, but the rhinos don't know better. Now the other issue that I need is to make sure that these guys that are resting don't get up and open the door for the rhinos. So it really depends on how long the rhinos stick around. Let's hope that doesn't happen. That would be bad. One thing I could do, which would be particularly evil, and therefore I will do it. Hey, Pact of Oslonium. Could you come in as a bulk goods trader? If they get gored by rhinos, it's not my fault. Jump packs are now done, and I'm going to start pushing back to marine armor. I don't believe there's anything else that I want as a higher, maybe medicine actually. Yeah, let's get medicine and then marine armor. Medicine will be a little bit faster because it isn't such a complicated tech. So breaking down the remnants of the old pasture. It also wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to quickly animal handle as a very high priority to drag these animals into the actual pasture so I can get rid of the old pasture and relocate them to the new one. But maybe not with Trusted can't even animal handle, so that's not a problem. Alright, these guests have been sticking around long enough eating the nice food, so after these latest lavish meals, I'm going to go back to nutrient paste. Taking a look at the disease progression, we've got 76 and 72, so pretty good. A little longer to go, but I don't think we're going to fall to it. And a stack of goodies with a drill arm and a doomsday launcher. Huh. Guarded by 14 tribespeople? That sounds like something I can just, like, skip, jump pack, and stealth my way in. I wouldn't mind trying at some point, if I can get out that way. Alright, so let's destroy this wall here. Stick that in. And strip up these floors. So the reliquaries are going to go over here. Colonist needs treatment. All right. So the animals have been moved. Good. That allows me to break down the old pasture. And what that does, if you're wondering, is it allows for the colonists to move to these doors quickly, because there's not a fence in the way anymore, like there used to be. And it sets the animals away from the killbox, which keeps them safer. I know they don't have enough food in there, but I don't plan on keeping as many as I currently have. I'll be selling them and gifting them. So this will temporarily be disrespected because it's not fine floored, but I'll get the floors in there in just a second. And then after I get the floors in there, it will be time for the Reliquary. So it's no longer disrespected. And then I'll be setting up at least one Reliquary, but if I can get the Relic of Dominance, you know, 2, possibly 3. Really depends on the progress that we make. The bulk constrictor called in might not end up interacting with these rhinoceroses. Really depends on how soon they come. I was hoping that they would get gored, but that's just because I'm a little evil. Maybe they'll show up and not end up dead. Well, friends, it looks like Kixigo is about to leave, and that is going to be a bit of a problem. So before that happens, I'm going to draw the rhinos over to a different door so that there's not a giant influx of rhinos running in and getting me killed. I was about to end the episode and saw the impending Kixigo going for the door. I could also barricade up the door, preventing it from being opened easily. Because it looks like the lure is not working, so let's go ahead and do that. Kixigo, with his brain damage and his cataphract armor, is very, very, very slow. So perhaps I can get no luck to build... Let's use granite. Perhaps I can get no luck to build this in time before the base gets overrun by angry manhunting rhinos. It'd be good if we could actually shoot them, though. Come on, no luck. Race. Watching that like a countdown timer. Alright, so bunny stun and spin vertigo. Okay, so now Kixigo will travel to a different door. And that, my friends, is all the time I have for this episode. Thank you for tuning in to episode 51 of the Archotechs, When Horses Fly. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com, or in the description of this video, have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.